So what is really God? All right, I want to explain what God is. All right, using a very simple, very simple um, explanation. So we're going to use luck to explain God. What is luck? Luck is an unexpected outcome. Okay, that is, if we're looking at the conditions that are building up to a certain outcome, and when the outcome result comes out, it's unexpected, okay, based on the precedence. So look at it as give me a few seconds to explain to you what God is using luck, all right, and it's going to make a whole lot of sense to you, whether you believe in God or not, it doesn't matter. So what is luck? Luck is an unexpected outcome. Basically, if you're looking at the actions or the circumstances leading to the outcome, by the time you compare it to the outcome, you see that the outcome is unexpected. It doesn't correspond. It's way outside the league of the actions building up to it. So luck can be divided into two, positive or negative. So an unexpected positive outcome, for instance, the fact that you are born into a rich family is unexpected. That's positive luck. The fact that you're born into a poor family, that's unexpected, okay? There's nothing you did that corresponds to being born into a poor family. That's bad luck, okay? So, same thing with when you are doing business, all right? You're doing business where you expect to get $5,000 returns, and then something happens somewhere in the month, and then you get $5 million, all right? Maybe you sign a deal by running into somebody in the restaurant, and then the next 2 weeks a deal was signed, and boom, $5 million instead of 5,000. That's luck. You are extremely lucky to have run into that person in that restaurant. So how does this relate to God? There are two kinds of people on earth, all right? The first type believe that this positive luck is God. So if you look at all the prayers people are praying, they are trying to inspire positive luck. They are trying to attract good luck, okay? So that what their circumstances look like would not look like the result. The result will far outweigh the circumstances they are facing, okay? So if you wake up every morning and you breathe, you don't pray for that, you don't pray for breath. But if something happened and you are losing your breath, now you pray. What are you praying for? You know that you are losing your breath. That's the real reality on ground. But the most luckiest thing that can happen is that you gain your breath back. That's when you pray. Okay? So some people believe, okay, in this world that that thing is luck. Okay? God is luck. All right? And then if you get a positive outcome, it means God blessed you. You're not lucky, you're blessed. Then there are people that believe that that luck is just the way life is. All right? If you put a dark stockings, okay, inside a dark room, and throw 10 people inside that room and tell them to get the stockings, there's no formula any of them will use that will increase their chances of getting that luck more than that socks more than others, as long as they're all using the same formula. You know what I'm saying? So whoever eventually picks that stockings is lucky. So somebody might interpret it as, oh, God blessed.
Turn right onto Latif Jakonde Road.
So somebody might interpret it that, oh, God blessed him by making sure that he's the one that picked that stockings. Another person might interpret it that, oh, he didn't have to pray. Prayer cannot attract that kind of luck. So it's just part of life. He should have just focused on doing the ones he can do, you understand, which is searching for the stockings, and hope to be lucky. So atheists, people that don't believe in God, believe that there's no point stressing yourself to attract this positive luck, because the prayer does not attract positive luck. So they say, cut it out from your life. Okay? Focus 1,000,000% on the things you can do. All right? Which is search for that stockings, apply for that job, prepare for that interview. Okay? Try to live healthy. Then the believers say this luck can be attracted. So how do we attract it? Now we have to read our holy book. We'll try and look for the formulas to attract it. Okay, we try to follow different religious rituals and whatever to try and attract this lock. Now, both sides has advantage and disadvantage, but let me quickly start with the one of believers. The thing with believers is the moment there's too many ifs, if this, else that, if this, if that, if this, okay? The moment you open your religious book, what you notice is that there are 1,000 different ifs before you can attract that lock. If you can just pray every day, you attract the lock. You pray every day, you don't see lock. They say, if you can just have faith, you now have faith. Okay, they now say, if you can just pay tithe. What? You pay tithe. Okay, if you can now just come to church every day. You come to church every day. Okay, if you can make sure that you join any unit in church and start evangelism, you join unit in church and start evangelism. If you can just do that, you give alms, give that. Too many ifs. You understand? There's no one single thing that you can hold concrete and say, if I just do this, I'll attract the lock. If there's one single formula. And the funny thing is, I'm talking about honest religion now, but the funny thing is, scammers can get into the system because of the too many conditions, and then they advertise the one that will benefit the scammer. They advertise it as if it's the only one you need. So somebody can say, test and see that the Lord is good. Test me and see if I will not open the gates of heaven. You pay tithe. If you just pay tithe, when I paid tithe in 1983, that's why my ministry is this big. Just pay tithe. The moment you pay tithe and you don't succeed, they'll be like, okay, but in Matthew chapter this verse that, you also have to give alms.
Continue on Lateef Jakonde Road for 800 meters.
So you understand? Now you have to give alms. They have added it. So you give alms. Oh, you have to join a unit in church. Oh, you have to do this. Oh, you have to do that. Oh, you have to do. You understand? Then they go back to the one that benefits them. Oh, why did you miss your tithe last month? You must keep paying tithe while you are trusting and believing. You know, they use present continuous tense. You're trusting and believing in God that this will happen. Present continuous, because they don't want you to ever stop. And that's confusing for many people. Many people are perfectly okay with it. Not that I'm not saying it's good or bad. All right, I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, at least in this video. I'm just saying this is how it is, and many people are perfectly good with that. They are more comfortable living their life hoping that, putting their trust in some luck that will come. Okay, some people are more ritualistic in nature. They believe if I can do something repeatedly every day, okay, even though there's no proof that this thing can attract that positive luck. That is a ritual. A ritual is something you have to do repeatedly, but it doesn't make sense, logical sense. But you believe that it's going to attract positive luck. That's what ritual is. So if you wake up every morning and pray, that's ritual. If you pray every night, that's ritual. You know, if you tune in to listen to your pastor every day, not because you enjoy the message, but you take it as a form of prayer that will attract positive luck. That's ritual. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad. It's not all rituals that are bad. Okay, so some people are better off. They feel more comfortable not feeling responsible for their day-to-day, handing it over to God, which is something or being that will bring positive luck to them. You understand? So that is the way they want to live their life, and I would call it a faith-based life. Okay, even though there's other definitions of faith, okay, but I'll call that kind of life a faith-based life. Okay, the believer hands over part of the understanding of how the result will come to a positive luck, source. This source could be God, it could be whatever else they believe, maybe charms. Some people believe in charms, you know, but this thing is supposed to attract positive luck. So they do some parts of what they can, and then they hand over the rest to the source. Now let's look at atheists, people that don't believe. Now these guys they believe that they have looked through this whole thing and say it's too confusing for them, too many if this, if that, or they have done some tests on their own, or whatever else, or they believe somebody else's opinion, but somehow that's not how they want to live their life. They don't want to live their life trusting that some certain abracadabra is going to send positive luck to them. Instead, they choose to cut out that entire part of, if luck comes, that's good. If it doesn't come, that's fine. But they want to focus 100% of their lives on being able to attract, being able to do the ones they can do. All right. If it's an exam, this kind of person will ask themselves, what do I have to do to pass this exam? Step number one, probably prepare for this exam 100%. You understand? Do whatever they have to do to pass the exam.
In 300 meters, turn left onto Isheri Road, Ogunosi Road.
So finally, when they pass the exam, they enjoy the results. They don't give thanks to a certain source of positive luck. If they fail the exam, they take it as life. Failure will come sometimes, even when you have done your whole, even when you have done the right thing you're supposed to do. So I just want to
turn left onto Isheri Road, Ogunosi Road.
So I just wanted to paint this picture so you get a good idea of how atheists think. They don't believe in luck, okay? Luck might come.
There's 7 minutes congestion on Isheri Road in 500 meters. You are still on the fastest route.
So luck might come, fine, and that's perfect. That's awesome, all right? Person could get lucky. But they are not banking on that, okay? And they don't believe that luck is coming from any certain source. They just believe it's part of the process. Okay, some things are order and disorder. They go hand in hand. Okay? So that's the same thing with negative luck. You can get life correctly, do all the exercise and everything, you're still that young. Probably because you're driving well and somebody hits you from the other side. You understand? So that's negative luck. These atheists don't attach any spiritual interpretation to it. So it may affect the way a society is built. A society built by atheists might be different from a society built by core believers. Because if there is something like a negative, what do you call it? Luck, like an accident. Somebody is living life correctly, driving well, have their driver's license, and then they die in an accident. A ritualistic society or a religious faith-based society might say, oh, that's the devil. So what would be the solution they would prefer? Go to church, pray against it. Okay, that will be the first solution. Doesn't mean they will not apply others. But a society that believes in that doesn't believe in that luck comes from a certain source, they will quickly investigate.
Continue on Isheri Road for 1 kilometer.
So this society will quickly investigate this. You understand? They will investigate the source of this problem. And probably the guy didn't put his seatbelt. Maybe that road was not designed well, you know, and so on and so forth. So when you see some societies that are atheist, okay, you're going to notice some slight differences, because when they are protesting for something, societal changes, they don't trust any being to take care of it. They don't leave things for God. They want to treat it there. You get what I'm saying? If they want a road to be fixed, they are ready to go to war for it. Okay? But if it is faith-based, after some time, somebody might come up with, oh, why don't you leave it for God? You know? You never know. God gives and God takes and blah, 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 blah. And everybody relaxes. Tomorrow, somebody else will die there. So, these are two extremes. Of course, there are many people that manage to balance this. There are many people that can balance it. Okay, do the best you can. Leave the rest for God. I don't know if you've heard it before. People can balance that properly. Okay? But then the question is, in a given society, the majority of these believers, are they the ones that can balance that or the ones that can't? If you give me a church of 10,000 people now, can I have over 60-70% of people that can balance prayer and work? Okay? Or would the majority of them be people that will have 90% prayer, 10% work? You get what I'm saying? So it's a question. Then when it comes to atheist society, what could be the disadvantage of an atheistic society? For instance, many people don't know that many countries are atheists. That's the way the country even manages to function. They are secular. The country is officially non-believer. You understand? Many countries, even though they have a large majority of believers, the country takes the official position of non-believer. Why? Because if they take the position of a believer, they might be forced to rule the country based on the principles of the religious book. And the thing is that that principle may have been outdated. All right? Because it was written many years ago, 100,000 years, 1 million years, whatever, 2,000 years ago, you know. So that's the thing with atheistic and religious societies. Now, societies that are some societies are officially atheist, some are secular. Secular means the government doesn't want to take any stance on religion, okay? But atheist means the government is officially non-religious, and usually they will want to suppress any kind of religion that is taking root. Okay, you can do your religious thing, but once it's becoming high, they suppress it. And usually their fear is that a religious leader can grab the microphone and turn the people against the government. So when you see countries like China, you understand? Countries like China, they don't want that. Once you overdo your religious thing, government steps in, you know, put so many regulations around it. Why? Just to make sure that somebody cannot randomly grab the mic and control a large crowd. And that's the thing with religion. Religious people can be easily controlled in large numbers. You understand? Because it's faith-based, it's belief-based. So once somebody believes, they can't do logic again. Even though belief is very powerful in a whole lot of things. For instance, when you are in trouble, if you're in trouble, like during war situations, some people suffer a lot. You know, they could commit, you know, they could end it all, but having faith that God has a higher plan for them, they will be able to survive that whole trial period. So that's the advantage of faith. Okay? Somebody who does not believe in God or something would have to find another source of belief system. You understand? He has to find another way to build that hope. But somebody who believes in God is so easy. You just open the Bible, read one thing, and you have enough faith to pass through the war. And believe you me, many people have survived very difficult situations just based on faith alone. But if you look at faith, it's purely survival in nature. Okay, it's always motivational. Believe in God, trust that something good will happen, this, that. It's always motivational in nature, which means it was crafted for people suffering, or by people suffering, or crafted at a time when people were suffering a lot, either of all those. You understand? But if you are speaking to a group of atheists, you wouldn't have any much motivation to give them. You better explain what is happening actually, realistically. Otherwise, they don't care about your motivation. You wouldn't have anything to control a large group of people that are suffering. You understand? You need faith to control and console a large group of people that are suffering. What do you tell an atheist when somebody dies? He better has the heart, somebody close to them. He or she has to have the heart to bear it as reality. But if it's a faith-based person, you can explain to them that the person has gone to somewhere better, they have gone to be with the Lord, that they are looking down on you from heavens, and you know, and then the person feels a bit better. They're able to cope with that situation better. So which one are you? What do you think? Let me know, and we can talk about it.